Hey, Nickelodeon fans, buckle up for a wild ride through memory lane. If you grew up in the 2000s, chances are Drake and Josh was your go-to show, the one that had you laughing until your sides hurt and quoting "hug me brother" at every family gathering. I mean, come on. Drake Parker, the smooth-talking ladies man, and Josh Nichols, the lovable nerd, were the ultimate odd couple stepbrothers, turning everyday chaos into comedy gold. From 2004 to 2007, they dominated Nickelodeon, racking up 56 episodes, 2 TV movies, and a fan base that's still obsessed today. But here's the kicker. Behind the scenes, things weren't always as sunny as their San Diego home. Today, we're diving deep into the bombshell revelations from Drake Bell and Josh Peck themselves, what really went wrong between the iconic duo. It's a story of friendship, fallout, and some seriously messy drama that'll leave you stunned. So, grab your doodle cakes, settle in, and let's unpack the truth about Drake and Josh. First, let's set the stage. Drake and Josh wasn't just a show, it was a cultural phenomenon. Created by Dan Schneider, it followed teenage stepbrothers Drake Parker, played by Drake Bell, and Josh Nichols, played by Josh Peck, as they navigated high school, family life, and their polar opposite personalities. Drake was the cool, guitar-strumming slacker who could charm his way out of anything. Josh was the brainy, clumsy goofball who somehow always ended up in the middle of Drake's schemes. Throw in their sneaky little sister Megan, played by Miranda Cosgrove, and their bickering was the heart of the show. It premiered on January 11th, 2004, pulling in 3.2 million viewers, Nickelodeon's biggest series debut in nearly a decade. By its final season, it was consistently among the top 10 cable shows, with the TV movie Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh drawing a record-breaking 9.1 million viewers. The chemistry between Drake and Josh was electric, their banter so natural it felt like they were real brothers. But as we'd later learn, that on-screen magic didn't always translate off-screen. Now, before we get to the drama, let's talk about what made Drake and Josh so special. The show was a masterclass in sitcom comedy, blending slapstick, sharp dialogue, and heartwarming moments. Episodes like Josh Is Done, where Josh cuts ties with Drake after one too many screw-ups, showed the depth of their bond. Remember Drake's tearful apology in that one? "I need you way more than you need me." Man, that hit hard. Or take Megan's first kiss, where the brothers teamed up to protect their little sister from a cheating boyfriend. Classic sibling love. The show wasn't afraid to get real, tackling blended family dynamics and the messy reality of step-brotherhood. Fans ate it up, and the internet's still buzzing with memes of Josh's "I ain't calling you a liar, but I ain't calling you a truther." It was the kind of show that felt like hanging out with your best friends, and Drake and Josh were the heart of it all. But here's where things get juicy. For years, fans assumed Drake Bell and Josh Peck were as tight off-screen as they were on TV. They'd started together on The Amanda Show, where a sketch of them arguing over a shrimp inspired the Drake and Josh concept. They seemed like brothers, goofing off in behind-the-scenes clips and jamming together. Drake even wrote and performed the show's theme song, "I Found a Way." But cracks started to show after the series ended in 2007. The first big hint came in 2017 when Josh got married to Paige O'Brien and Drake wasn't invited. Drake took to Twitter, posting and quickly deleting tweets that set the internet on fire. When you're not invited to the wedding, the message is clear. True colors have come out today. Ties are officially cut. I'll miss you, brother. Fans were shook. Was this just a misunderstanding, or was there real beef between our favorite stepbrothers? Let's rewind to understand the fallout. According to Josh, speaking on the BFF podcast in March 2022, he and Drake hadn't stayed in touch for the 10 years after Drake and Josh rapped. That's right, 10 years of radio silence. Josh said he didn't invite Drake to the wedding because they weren't close anymore and he didn't think it was a big deal. But on the night of his wedding, Josh got texts from Drake, "Cursing me out, coming for me." Drake's tweets painted a picture of betrayal, suggesting Josh had ghosted him and flaunted their estrangement. The tweets went viral, and suddenly, the Drake and Josh fandom was split, Team Drake versus Team Josh. It was like watching your parents fight, but with more hashtags. Drake didn't stay quiet. In a podcast with his then wife Janet, launched in March 2022 under the suspiciously Drake and Josh-like name Drake and Janet, he fired back. He claimed Josh had pitched a reboot script for Drake and Josh that leaned heavily on offensive Mexican stereotypes, like a plot where Drake performs at a quinceañera for a drug kingpin's daughter. Drake, who'd embraced his Mexican heritage and started posting in Spanish as Drake Campana, said he and Janet, who's Paraguayan, were appalled. According to them, Josh's script turned their iconic hug me brother into hug yourself. Okay, that's a hard left turn from Nickelodeon vibes. Josh never publicly confirmed or denied the script, but the accusation added fuel to the fire. Fans started wondering, was Josh out of touch or was Drake exaggerating to stir the pot? But the drama didn't stop there. In 2021, Drake faced serious legal trouble, pleading guilty to felony attempted child endangerment and a misdemeanor charge related to inappropriate communication with a minor. The case stemmed from messages he sent to a teenage fan in 2017, which he claimed were not sexual but still reckless. He was sentenced to 2 years probation and 200 hours of community service. The scandal rocked his reputation, and Josh, who'd been building a career as a comedian and YouTuber, stayed silent. Fans noticed Josh didn't reach out publicly, which some saw as him distancing himself from the controversy. Others thought it was just Josh being private. Either way, it deepened the divide. Drake later said in interviews that he felt abandoned by former co-stars during this time, though he didn't name Josh directly. The subtext was clear: the brotherly bond was fraying. Then came the bombshell that changed everything. In 2024, the docuseries Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV exposed disturbing allegations about Nickelodeon's behind-the-scenes culture, including abuse by producer Brian Peck. Drake revealed he was the unnamed minor in a 2003 sexual assault case against Brian, who was convicted and served 16 months in prison. Drake described the abuse as extensive and said it happened during his time on The Amanda Show before Drake and Josh. The revelation was gut-wrenching. Fans realized Drake had been carrying this trauma while filming the show that defined their childhoods. Josh reached out privately and later posted on Instagram, "I've seen Quiet on Set and I'm horrified by what Drake went through. I've reached out to him to offer my support." It was a rare public olive branch, but for some fans it felt too little, too late. Why hadn't Josh spoken up sooner? And why was their friendship so fractured? To unpack this, we need to look at their dynamic during Drake and Josh. On screen, Drake's character was the cool one, always stealing the spotlight, while Josh was the butt of jokes. Think Two Idiots and a Baby, where Josh is left babysitting while Drake ditches for a gig. Off-screen, sources like TV Tropes suggest Josh felt overshadowed. Josh Peck was a talented comedian, but Drake Bell's music career and heartthrob status often hogged the limelight. Josh's frustration in episodes like Josh is Done, where his character finally snaps at Drake's selfishness. Some speculate this mirrored real tensions, Josh working hard while Drake coasted on charm. Add to that the physical contrast. Josh, who struggled with his weight as a teen, was often mocked on the show, while Drake was the cute one. Josh later lost weight and leaned into his comedic chops, but those early years couldn't have been easy. Drake's perspective adds another layer. In Quiet on Set, he described feeling isolated on set, especially after the abuse. He was 15 when Drake and Josh started, dealing with trauma while projecting a carefree persona. The show's demanding schedule, 4 seasons, 2 movies, and constant promos left little room for healing. Drake's 2005 car accident, which broke his neck and jaw, stalled production for months, adding more pressure. Meanwhile, Josh was thriving, landing roles in films like Mean Creek and later Oppenheimer. Drake's post-Nickelodeon career leaned on music and voice acting, but his legal issues and public feuds overshadowed his work. It's not hard to see how resentment might have built. Drake feeling like Josh moved on while he struggled, Josh feeling like Drake's recklessness tanked their shared legacy. The wedding snub was a tipping point, but the real fracture seems rooted in communication, or lack thereof. Josh said on BFF that he assumed Drake would understand the non-invite, given their distance, but Drake, who'd always worn his heart on his sleeve, took it as a betrayal. Their reconciliation at the 2017 VMAs, where they hugged it out and filmed goofy sketches, gave fans hope. They even discussed a revival in 2019, with Josh pitching a concept where they're older, cooler versions of themselves. But Drake's 2021 legal issues and the Quiet on Set fallout killed any chance of a reboot. Josh's discomfort with Drake's actions, noted in TV Tropes, and Drake's accusations about the offensive script suggest trust was shattered. So, what went wrong? It's a mix of personal trauma, professional jealousy, and the slow erosion of a friendship under the weight of fame. Drake's abuse and legal troubles left him vulnerable, craving the loyalty he felt Josh withheld. Josh, focused on his own growth, may have seen Drake's outbursts as toxic, especially after years of carrying the nerdy sidekick label. The Drake and Janet podcast and Josh's BFF interview reveal two guys with wildly different memories of their time together. Drake sees himself as the wronged party, betrayed by a brother. Josh sees a faded friendship that didn't need a public airing. Both have valid pain, but neither seems willing to fully bridge the gap. Fans are left grappling with the fallout. Reddit threads, like one from April 2024 on Drake and Josh, praise Josh is Done as the show's best episode, with a 9.4 IMDb rating for showing the brothers' love despite conflict. But real life isn't scripted. The quiet on-set revelations added sympathy for Drake, with fans on X calling for Nickelodeon accountability. Yet Josh's supporters argue he's entitled to move on, citing his stable career and family life. The truth is, Drake and Josh was lightning in a bottle. Two talented teens, perfect casting, and a genius premise. But fame is a pressure cooker, and trauma, ego, and time can break even the tightest bonds.